Hello everyone, and welcome to a game of Warships. It's one of my replays, and I'm in the Jinan, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Now this is a tier 10 Pan-Asian cruiser. I'm on the map Mountain Range. It's a 3-point domination game, and I've run into Napoli here. So I was briefly detected, but I managed to disappear in smoke, and now the pew-pew starts. Now as you can see, I can't actually penetrate the Napoli unless I hit the superstructure. I'm not using IFHE on this, so the penetration is pretty much bad. But, you know, the fire starting is somewhat okay. So I guess I'll just have to burn things. And there we go, we have 2 fires on that Napoli, which is pretty lovely. It looks like it might have blown its damage gun earlier. And there we go. It's a good start. Now I'll have to say I haven't played this ship much yet, so those are very much still first impressions that I have of this thing. But so far, it's alright, and it seems to be a fun ship to play. For me personally, at least. You have some pretty decent torpedoes, although they're deep 40s. And I've gone for the range mod, which brings my range up to 16.8 kilometers, which is workable together with the smoke screen at tier 10. Now, so far, my division mate has taken the B cap. Well, he's our only destroyer. And now that he's on his way over to A, unfortunately, we are losing that. Now, we don't really have any raiders to stop that from happening, and with only 1 destroyer, he can only be at 1 place at a time.
Torpedoes,
so this is...
front.
Oh, this is a problem. Speaking of problems, hello torpedoes. Well, I'm gonna dodge those, I guess, and I'm in concealment again. Now, I can torp this smoke screen. It's... Well, I mean, I'm not sure who is laying this smoke screen. It could be the destroyer, but somebody just captured B. Was that the destroyer? There is a Minotaur. So maybe this is the Minotaur smoke screen. It's not the Smolensk. Anyway, I have some... I mean, there's some armor piercing coming from that. This is probably the Minotaur smoke screen, right? So we have some torps going through there. The torpedoes have a pretty decent range of 13.5 and hit quite a bit. And I mean, being deep waters, they aren't that easy to detect. So you have 10 per side, and you have a torpedo reload. So torpedoes are definitely something that you want to use in this ship, and that are a very important part of the arsenal. So there is another fire. I'm just launching some random torpedoes into the B cap in case the Smolensk tries to go there and do something, or the Conde comes through there.
Torpedoes, direct front.
And speaking of torpedoes, yeah, I fucked up. One of the major downsides, of course, is you don't have Hydro in this thing, and I'm lucky to be alive here. So yeah, you don't have Hydro in this thing, which means being inside a smoke screen is dangerous. Now, even if this is like, you know, a Minotaur, right, and not a destroyer, obviously the Minotaur has torpedoes, and it torpedoed me. But I torpedoed something back.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
So that's lovely. Looks like I got some torps in the Smolensk, I think. Meanwhile, Izumo was burned down. So, nice. So I've got some more torps going for that smoke over there. And it looks like we are grabbing the A cap. The problem that we have is we are lacking a little bit of map control. We have a large force here, but we have the large force on the only point that we control, and our team has given up on the other flanks. Now, there are still some ships there, the Annapolis, the Smolensk, the St. Louis, so it's not like we have been completely out of ships here, so the enemy still has to angle against some of those a bit. Now, Smolensk isn't going to create much crossfires because its armor piercing is not really strength. But you know, the Annapolis, the St. Louis, that's gonna be helpful. Now let's launch some torps that way. I have to be careful because my concealment is 9.8, I think. So if I get too close, that Conde will detect me. I don't know where the enemy destroyer is, mind you, we haven't actually ever spotted this guy, right? But I have a Shimakaze, and we knew it was capping B some time ago, but we have no idea where it went ever since. There is a Smolensk somewhat close, it's smoking up too, but I've decided to be on the safe side here. I'm on very low. Well, I mean, I could heal, by the way, I really should heal. This is a big mistake there on my part, not healing already. But I'm sure I'll remember it eventually. I mean, you know, I'm getting more adrenaline rush this way. But it's not worth it, right? I need to prioritize my survival, surely. I'm just being a bit of an idiot here. Now the good news is there is a Shikishima pushing me, and that means I have something to shoot. Now I also have, I'll soon have some torpedoes for the Shikishima. If it keeps pushing me, then maybe we can do something with that. And there we go, I remembered the heal, yay! Round of applause for me. So, the torps on this side are reloaded. Let's launch some. Torpedo reload booster is not ready. I could try to awkwardly maneuver and get my torps from the other side off. I also have to pay attention to my smoke screen. The smoke screens don't last that long, so you don't have the best smoke in this ship. That's always something to keep in mind. But what I do have is a division mate, and Viper is coming in here to provide some new smoke for me. So this makes this a lot less awkward, and now I can just chill here. Now once again, what I don't have is Hydro. I don't know where the enemy Shimmer is, and this Smolensk could warp the smoke screen too. He could possibly be close enough for that. So a lot of things here to consider. Now the Shikishima is probably not surviving long enough for my torps to arrive, which is a bit of a shame. I do like warping things. But hey, if the guns do the trick, then it's fine too, I suppose. Well, didn't get the Shikishima, but it's... Oh, wait, I hit a torp. Did I just hit, like, the Johan there? Well, I mean, I'll take it. And this also means I have a new target to shoot at. Now, as you can see, it takes quite a bit. Like, this Johan is only 12 kilometers away, but the share travel time is already pretty bad. I expected it to go forward there again, but it didn't. So, maybe now it is? So yeah, see, even at 12 kilometers, if you aren't quite sure how the enemy is going to maneuver, like, they have a lot of time to react to your shells. So even though I have 16.8 kilometers range, at longer ranges you aren't going to hit anything that's moving too much, but battleships are sometimes they're just sitting there like nosing or reversing. Probably reversing. And at higher tier games the base range of this is really just a little bit sad. So far this build seems to be working for me, but as I said, so those are still a lot of first impressions. Now, while we aren't doing so well on the points, we are doing pretty well on the ships overall. That Smolensk went down. The Johan David is almost down. We briefly saw the Shimakaze, but we are lacking really the tools to stop it there. Well, I guess technically we have a radar with the Annapolis. It's just not anywhere close to the Shimmer. So I'm just gonna go into B here and flip B. There is a Conqueror potentially coming my way. I wouldn't mind if I could see that, because that would be some nice, lovely additional damage. My smoke is ready. I only have one charge left, but that's fine. The battle is probably not gonna last long enough for me to run out of smokes. I have run out of smokes in this ship because you don't really have that many, and they are not lasting that long. So keep that in mind. This ship definitely would profit from divisioning with something else with smoke. I mean, I'm currently divisioned with a Sommers, and I've used one of his smoke screens. So far there hasn't been any need for me to get more of it. But yeah, it's definitely a ship that would work well with something else with smoke, like a destroyer. And then maybe you'd bring in another cruiser. Maybe with Raider and Hydro. Not having a Hydro is really a little bit of it's slightly scary, let's put it like that.
Smoke screen set.
Now I could, by the way, I could have healed again for quite some time, but I can't heal that much damage of what I've taken. That's why I haven't pressed it yet. Also, there doesn't seem to be an immediate need to get this little bit of health going there. So I'm just fine with how this goes right now. Let's see if we can sink the Conqueror. Technically he's overturning into my torp here, but realistically he's not gonna survive long. Oh, is he? Is he gonna hit the torp? Yes, he is. Hey, that's fine. Now only the Minotaur and the Shimmer remaining. And despite that, the enemy actually has more points now, because our team wasn't doing very well with objectives. But this time it worked out, mostly because we somehow managed to melt the enemy.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Hey, now we have some torps coming my way. We have the Minotaur. I'm also detected by the Shimmer, because I'm shooting. Now, obviously a Minotaur only has armor piercing, so it's gonna shoot me with armor piercing. And I don't have a lot of armor, so I definitely should try to be angled there a bit better. Now those Minotaur shells fell short, that's good news. I mean, at this point I really don't care if I sink or not, because I only have the Shimmer and the Minnow remaining. Also, you can see I'm even getting non-pens on the Minnow. Those guns are really not like the best penetration wise, but it's fine. Oh, I even got a smoke screen here from Viper. And I think I'll be able to dodge those torps. Now only the Shimmer is remaining. I'm not confident that I'm gonna get any damage done there, because my shell travel time is so long. But maybe I'll be able to sneak in one salvo. I mean, just look at how long those shells travel. Now, obviously the first salvo was terrible, but anyway. Well, that brings us to the results, and this was a decent battle, I suppose. So far, the Jinan has worked quite well for me in the few battles I've played with it, but keep in mind, you know, I've only played this a few battles. It's way too early to truly evaluate this ship, but my first impressions are at least positive, right? So far, I feel like you have enough torpedoes to get some reasonably consistent hits in battles, obviously depending on how the battle goes. And thanks to the range mod, you'll actually have something in range to shoot with your smoke screen. You're usually at least able to do something. So yeah. The Hydro is definitely something that you're missing, and like with any smoke cruiser, it works rather well in a division if you can combine it with something that maybe provides you Raider, if you have a destroyer that does some spotting for you. Obviously things like that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.